everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm in the mood to make a video today, so here I am. It's been a little bit of time since I felt like doing this, and yeah, I just wanted to make sure that it was something that was going to be like important to share. So on my channel I've talked about depression and ways to like overcome depression, or at least, you know, work through it. One of those things being just like accepting the fact that you're there and not trying to get out of it. And then there was like, I did that video about movement, how movement is so important, because it's like, you know, if you're feeling stuck and slowed down, it's like any kind of movement is going to help release whatever is like held in there. So yeah, that's all been talked about. And the reason that I, you know, even have any of that to share is because I've gone through it, and it's not like it's a one-time thing. I have come to find. I thought that if I could just overcome it, then I would never have to go through any of that again. And it's just like there's just different, I don't know, there's different times in my life that I go through, you know, a struggle, and the I feel like for me, I need variety, and I like having something new to think about, something new to do, something new to like, you know, put my mind to. And so I've had some depression this year, and how do I get through it this time? Really, part of what I've been doing is like saying to myself, like, okay, I want to feel good about my life. I want to feel good about people around me. I want to feel good about my relationships. I want to feel good about my job. I want to feel good about the place where I live. Like, and I wrote that all down. It's like, this is what I want. I want to be feeling good about these things. The main one being my life, right? Because that's like the overarching thing. So I went on a nature walk yesterday, and I feel like that's where I get a lot of insight, is when I just go by myself and I go in nature and I connect to nature. It's like this gentle energy. And it's a really good moment to kind of facilitate, you know, diving in. And also, I have a medical marijuana card for depression, and I don't use the medicine very much. Just sometimes. And it's almost like I wish I could use it every day, because of like, it really does just lift me up, and I'm just in this really good state of mind, right? But sometimes it will bring me into like, let's work on some stuff. Which is good too. Like, I like both of those things. I just like, you know, want to make sure that I have the time and the space to be working through things. That's usually when I get in that mode anyway. So yeah, it's like sometimes the medicine does lift my depression, and sometimes it asks me to look deeper. And when I do, I come out with a treasure, and this is what I have gained yesterday. It's like, for so long I've been asking, like, I just want to feel good about my life. I want to, like, does my life matter? It didn't feel like it did. So then I had this experience. I'm walking in the woods. I come to this little fork in the road. And I've been down both paths before, and I know where they go. It actually goes in a circle, but it's just each one is different. And I remember, like, it hit me. It was like, oh my gosh, it's like when you're at this crossroads. I've come to this a lot, where there's two choices to be made, or two. It seems like there's two choices to be made, and I look at one, and it's like this one is this really cute little bridge across the creek, and that one just looks so cute, like from where I'm standing. And then there's another path that kind of like goes around, and it's just like trees. And I decide, I'm gonna go to the tree path instead of the bridge. And I have this moment of like, oh, this is the metaphor of what happens to me and why I'll get depressed. Is like, I get so sad about like, oh no, what about that path with the bridge? It looked so good. It looked so cute. From where I was standing at the beginning of the bridge, it looked so great. And now I'll never know what it's like to go on that path because I have to go this way. Like, this is where life has pushed me. A lot of times, life has to like push me over the edge to go where I'm supposed to go. I get really like stubborn, and I'm like, no, we're gonna stay here because I'm supposed to stay. I'm supposed to be loyal. I'm supposed to be loyal to the company I work for. That's instilled in me. I'm supposed to be loyal to the person I'm in the relationship with. Stick it out. That's like, it takes a lot for me to finally just be like, and sometimes over and over, just like, this isn't, you gotta go. And a lot of times I'm like, no, I have to keep, staying the course. Because this is where we are. And then life will just be like, all right, finally now we have to make the choice for you. It's not gonna be fun. But, after the choice is made, it's like, then I realize, like, this is the right path for me. The direction we're going, the direction life has been trying to go and I've been trying to push against. It's like, that's the way we wanted to go. That's the way we wanted to go this whole time. It's just like I was stuck on this bridge, or stuck on what could have been with the bridge. Like, I think of it like a relationship or a job. Like, that's how I'm seeing the choice at the moment. It's like, that bridge looks so good. And then I'm on this, I'm walking down on the other path, the dirt path with the trees. And it's like, and so I stop myself. I'm like, do we see how long we've been walking on this path and thinking so much how sad we are about that other path? And it's like, can't you just enjoy where you are right now? Because there's things to enjoy about it. There really are. Just look at where you are now. And this is where you'll see why this is the path we took. You don't know what would have happened. Like, you go over the bridge. Like, say I went over the bridge, right? That could have been a disaster. That wasn't supposed to be part of my experience. Even if maybe it was great. In my mind, I'm like, it could have been great. But it wasn't great. Because it wasn't for me. It's the path I'm on that is for me, and there are things in it that I'm overlooking, right? It's like, I'm overlooking these things that are great now because I'm stuck on this like bridge and how pretty, and oh my gosh, that could have been great. It's like, be on the step that you're on, be on the path that you're on. This is where life's taking you, and this is the experience that you're meant to have. You're meant to have this experience. So these are the things that were coming to me as I was walking down the path. So I finally decided, all right, I really like this path, I'm going to enjoy it. And so I just started enjoying it. And let's see, I was coming back around to there's another bridge at the end where you can cross the creek again. So I crossed that bridge and I'm coming back around, and I don't know, something pulled me in once. It's like when I'm in that state of mind where I'm kind of using this medicine, it was actually, it was actually this gummy candy that I got before I went walking. I just ate one piece, and it kind of just allowed me to be receptive to whatever I needed to know, pretty much. So after I had this whole thing about like, be on the path you're on, right? It kind of just occurred to me that it was like we're all one, and not just as people being we're all one. It's like everything is all one. Everything. And it's like that's something that I've already like believed and experienced an understanding of what that means to me. And then it was like, here's another layer. Here's another layer. It's like the everything, which is like, you could say God or the collective consciousness, or just like, the everything. It's like the ultimate creator, the highest dimension you can get, like that can see everything, right? It's like the perspective from there came to me and was like filtered down in this way that I understand, and now I'm sharing it with you, that it's like this being that is all of us, that is everything. It's like it wanted to experience everything. It wanted to experience everything. And that's why it is everything, because it wanted this experience. And there's like infinite amount of room to continue creating new experiences. And I am just one of those experiences that it's like I'm going to just say God, because I don't know, I feel like that is a good word for the moment. I'm just going to say God. It's like, to me, God is like the being that all of everything is contained within. It's like I'm contained within God. It's like God is this shape and we're all in here. That's how I'm trying to explain it right now. So it's like God wanted to experience everything, and it was like, but then there was this moment of like, there isn't even really a container. Like I still want to imagine there's a container that is God, but it's like there's actually, it goes on for, it's like we can continue to create experiences, build upon like our society. And it's like, how, oh my God, it was so beautiful. It was like, I had this moment where, how there's certain people that love history, and I'm not really into history, but it's like, there's people who love it for a reason, because it's part of the everything. And so it's like, how they say, like, learn from history, you can learn from your past. And I had this sense of like, it's like this society that we're in, and then it's like ancient civilizations, and we try to study like what we can from that, from what we can gather. And we don't know the whole story, but we're like trying to like, figure out like, okay, what are the pyramids about, like, for example, or like the Mayans, or like Atlantis, who those people who know about that, which, it's, anyway. The thing, it's like God itself is sending messages like, hey, this was our experience, and it's like, I want you to have a different one. Or at least, it's like, I don't know. It was just so powerful in this moment that I felt like it's like our society was like God sending messages back and forth, like, just like, here's some information for your experience. And here's where it really got me. Here's where I like fell to the ground crying, because this was the moment that I feel like my question has been answered. I've been like asking this question for months, if not years, but like really focusing on the question for months. Okay. The question being like, does my life matter? Does my life even matter? Like that. But then I'm like, I really want to know. I really want to know. And so it was like out of everything that is, right? Out of all these civilizations, out of all these lives, out of all of these different things like animals, plants, minerals, planets, universes, galaxies, like universes. I'm just going to say galaxies. It's like timelines. Anyone who's into timelines, it's like the life that I'm living right now, the experience that I've had up until this point, the life that I'm living right now, it is entirely unique. And and that includes you too. You watching. I'm talking about you too. Every single person's life is an entirely unique experience that God wanted to experience. God wanted to experience everything. Without you, that's not everything. Okay? You make up the everything. Your experience is so precious because you are an entirely unique experience in and of yourself. In everything that happens to you, it's like that's your story, And then there's like the doubt that was like, well, when it comes to like, if you're into like the timeline thing where it's like, oh, well, you're living your life and then there's another version of you living a slightly different life because they made slightly different choices. Well, guess what? You're still entirely unique. That was the thing, like I had to get it through. You are still entirely unique. You made different choices than that slightly different version of you in another timeline, okay? If that's a question that you had in your mind, which I did have, and it's like, I'm still unique. This exact experience is still completely unique, and that is why your life matters. That's why your life matters, is because you're here to live the experience. You're here to be experiencing it. It's like you are God wanting to experience this exact you. And yeah, it may not be sunshine and happiness all the time. And it's like we just want that, We want to feel good. We want to feel, good feelings. But then guess what? Maybe, I don't know about you, but I've noticed that on my healing journey, I've come to see how much I value the sadness. I value the difficultness. It, like, in its own way, it's creating part of my experience. Okay? The darkness, the shadow. It's creating an experience for me so that I can experience this. And it's not just about like, well, the dark is there so you can experience the light. It's like, yeah, that's part of it. I mean, that's part of it. But like in itself, like the shadow is valuable. It's like, that's an experience too. Like, I'm just starting to see that like every experience that I've had, instead of resenting the people who have given me the difficult experiences, I want so much to see them as like valuable parts of my story. So it's like I may want my life to turn out a certain way, but the experiences that I'm having are totally unique to me, and that's what makes them valuable. And I'm also just like, I don't, like, there's something that's gonna happen next. And it's like there's something to look forward to. There is another experience going to happen next. Like every day is a little bit different than the last day. It may sometimes feel the same. Like I kind of got in a rut where it's like every day feels exactly the same. Because, for whatever reason. Because I was feeling stuck and depressed. Like it's like I was in that mindset of like wishing I had the bridge. I wish I had taken the bridge path, but it's like, no, I'm on this other path. What's in this zone? What's in this time period frame that I'm in right now? The time frame I'm in right now, like I don't have a job. And I'm like, I need to get one. But I really needed a time of rest. Like I had been so wound up and I needed to unwind. I needed a break. Or I was gonna break. And I didn't want to just like quit my job randomly, you know. I was trying to find another one, but it got to the point where it was just like I was kind of bored. I felt like I had no choice. But it was like, all right, I'm going to just leave now. I'm just going to go. I'm going to go quarantine myself. I felt like I had to go quarantine myself even though I'm not sick. But people are afraid. It's like whatever, the situation came to where it was like I felt like that was the right choice. And so now I am just as much as I can enjoying this time for what it is, and I am preparing myself for the next phase and just trying to not be afraid of what's gonna come next. And just to know that whatever does happen is like, this is the experience that God wanted to have through me. So I'm just gonna do it because like I'm the only one who can. I'm the only one who can experience the life that I'm in. Right? All right. So I hope that helps somebody, because like, this is what I do. And I'm going to try and keep doing it. I did record a couple of podcasts after my walk. I was still in this like, whoa, like headspace. So I'm thinking about posting them. So I will link that. I'm like, I might post that today, maybe tomorrow, but feel free to check out my podcast if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next video, okay?